This is a disclaimer. We filmed the video, watched it, and I think it weren't 100% clear, so sorry if it is clear. But this video is pretty much aimed at anybody that cannot drive to us. It's an informational video that will be getting sent out to everybody that purchases a Powergate to tune their car. But if you can get physically to our premises, you're better off us tuning it here. It's definitely cheaper and takes a bit less time for you, the end user, if you just come to our place. But if that physically can't happen, watch the rest of this video, see if the process works for you, because it is. You are going to have some mechanical sympathy and knowledge, and it can go wrong. We've not had it up to now with the remote stuff, but we know what happens when we're doing the tuning here, so it can be quite risky in some respects. The other thing, just go on the website first and check with your VIN that we can actually tune your car, because these tools don't cover everything. It's a shame that they don't, but they don't cover everything, so watch on. Right then, I'm wearing this hat not to cover my silly hairstyle up, but because I'm not actually Ryan from Darkside.
Wait a minute, who are you?
I'm a customer of Darkside, wanting to purchase a tune from us, or them. So, anyway, this video's about this little device in this box, which we'll open in a minute, but this video is mainly aimed at people wanting to get the car tuned by us, but you're unfortunately, or fortunately depending where you are, live too far away to travel to our premises. So basically, to start, go on our website, type in Powergate, there we go. So, Powergate 4. Click on here. So, we've got a vehicle to do this demonstration in, which is an Audi. Reg number H5Gen. My name's not Jen, oh, it is for today. Quantity 1. Add to cart. There you go. So, continue shopping. So then, scroll down. You should have read all this already. It wouldn't hurt to read it all. There you go. So at the minute, you've not bought a tune, you bought the tool to upload the tune. And this doesn't come preloaded with a tune either. It don't work like that. So I need to sign in to do this now. So I'm going to sign in as Danny, because he should be a retail customer. So if you're not in the UK, which you're probably not, you need to put your full VIN number in, and it needs to be right, because it will look for your car and check that it's compatible. ECU and a 6-speed automatic. That's the good thing about this new tool. It can do the engine and it can do the gearbox. So this is a totally standard car, so I click that one, and then any additional extras. So you want add blue stuff, VMAX removal, hard cut, swirl flat. Let's just say I want to remove the VMAX, and then here list all the modifications, stock. So if it's got a load of our parts on it and you bought them from us, it would be nice if you list them in here. Obviously we can find that, but the tuners don't always have access to all that stuff. And then any notes here, daily, DPF, safe, tune,
rate fast,
make it rate fast. If your car's compatible with the engine and the gearbox, you'll get all the options there for the engine and the gearbox tune, which on this car we're going to do. So then we'll select stage 1 on the gearbox. It's pretty standard. If you're doing some weird stuff, then you might select stage 2, stage 3 or whatever. I've read the terms. I accept that Darkside Development will not tune vehicles with hybrid turbos, imitated copies of Darkside Development products. So if you've not bought some parts from us, you need to let us know before you even bother paying, because there's fees involved. Some stuff we do let slip through, but generally if it's a turbo injectors, fuel pump, not purchased from us, we're generally not interested, because you spend more time messing around trying to get it to work. But anyway, so then the other thing, the data logging side, we're not just selling a generic tune here. We do need to know what your car's like now and what your car's like after we've tuned it. So if you're expecting just to plug this in, press go, have 50 more horsepower and drive away without letting us know how it behaves, it's not going to work. We're doing this is a custom tuning solution. So added the tuning to cart, then we'll go back on and get the diagnostics tool. So that's that, add that to cart. So there we go, view or edit your cart. So as you can see there, we've got the tool, we've got the tuning, and then the tuning tool. So there's VAT on top if you're in England and not if you're in another country, so ignore all that. Calculate shipping costs for United States, Alabama, suburb, anywhere, zip code. DHL Express, update shipping cost, check out. So you can check out in whatever currency you want, that's up to you. So then put all your details in and then wait probably, if you've only ordered that, you're probably waiting maybe 48 hours. If you've ordered a load of other parts, then we'll let you know, but definitely quicker than you probably get locally anyway. So then hopefully a package will arrive like this one. Let's have a look here. Ooh, it looks fancy. There you go. So as soon as you get the device in your hand, the Powergate 4, log on to the tuning portal. You should have a link that got emailed over as soon as you bought it. Click on there, click register your serial number. You get a pop-up then saying if you've got a preferred date to get the tuning work done. Obviously we can't stick to everything unless we've agreed that up front. If you're not interested or you're not bothered when it gets done, click the box, click submit, and then before you do any hardware stuff, make sure you follow the next steps on it. It can be quite drawn out. We've had a few people having issues and little problems. We wouldn't want you to start doing your hardware or be halfway through the hardware, some of it irreversible, and then we can't do the tuning for any reason or the device is not working and you're without your car for a few days. So if we do this all up front, get it in there early, the tuners have got a bigger chance of getting your tune back to you because it's all custom, there's no automation behind all this, and they'll be on your way. So this goes in here. They've used a modern printer serial connection. This is definitely more robust than USB, which does give you some problems, but anyway. Right, so when the day this arrives, this is the best time to do this. The day it arrives, go and plug it into your car. So let's go outside, plug it in. So the Powergate arrived in the post. We've got it here. The app's downloaded. So we're not paired at the minute. This is the car. Let's get in, get it sorted. So plug this in, find your OBD. If you're struggling at that point, send it all back. Send it all back. So we're in. So something's happening. So Powergate not yet paired. Add. Connect, plug it into diagnostic socket. Follow instructions. Next, enable the connection. So Bluetooth's on. Hotspot. Turn it on. So you could connect it to your local Wi-Fi network, but this sounds like an easier way of doing it. Enable location data. Next, enable Bluetooth, that's done. Next. So, it was successful on first attempt after editing. So there, you've got a Wi-Fi connection now, it's yellow, or orange if you're colourblind. Yeah. The application. The application started. It's not the fastest, but it's quicker than driving across the country. Just check it for updates. There we go. We're on the Darkside now. So there we go. So now Audi diesel, that's all we got configured for. There's TT coupe, we're not a roadster. So this is the important part here. It's a 2-litre TDI Quattro S-tronic, which it's not an S-tronic, it's a DSG, but anyway, 6 automatic transmission. If you select the manual transmission, the gearbox won't show up. So there we go. Engine ECU, transmission control unit, and then DTC, so I'm assuming that can do that. So there we go.
You tap on engine.
So I click on engine, communication in progress.
From here.
So click ID to start. Next. So you should be connecting a charger or a jump pack or something like that, just because your battery might get low voltage, which you don't want. Turn the ignition on, so don't put your foot on the brake. So the ignition's on now, wait till it's decided to do what it's doing. Okay. Turn ignition off. Turn the ignition on. So it's quite important not to be messing with things when this is happening. Right, there we go. There, identified okay. Turn ignition off again. Requesting develop. So there we go. This is definitely a bad translation. Operation successfully complete. You can proceed with the association. Once the association will be complete, you will no longer be able to undo this operation once you proceed. Confirm. So basically what that's telling you is, now, if you selected the wrong car and it's not worked properly, something's gone wrong, it's going to cost
£100.
this amount of money to sort it. So once you've read the ECU, go on to exit, which is closing the engine protocol down. So then we go start again. So then
Now you have TCU unlocked.
Yep, so there we go. So the engine needs reading first, then the gearbox, so we're just waiting for that to happen. And it'll just be pretty much the same job. There we go. So we've got the same notifications.
So you're done.
Done, as far as the alien tech started. Now we'll have a notification that you've read your car. Obviously you should have done this straight away as soon as you got it. The next step now is to log on to our tuning portal. Go on there, message the guys in tune if you've got any questions whatsoever about what you're needing to do next and what have you. But the other thing that you need to do, that I'm saying to do now, is go for a drive with your diagnostics cable plugged in. Go for a drive, follow all the steps there, check all the fault codes, all that sort of stuff, and then wait for the tuners to get back in touch with you, which, when a tune's ready, after that point, you should get a notification from the app telling you there's a tune ready for you. But the only place to converse with the tuners is through the tuning portal, not via email, because they don't get the emails. If you obviously have a problem with hardware, then the tuners will point you in that direction. This video's going to change and evolve over time, so we'll add some little bits, and if this gets updated it might look a little bit different. But once the tune's ready, then we'll show you what you need to do in that respect as well.
So we are in the TT, just about to go out and do some logs, so we'll talk through the process for this. So first of all, we have got the VCDS cable plugged into the OBD port. We open up the VCDS program. We want to select a control module, and then we're going to be logging the engine. So we want to select the engine. We go down to advanced measuring values. We click on the little VCDS logo up here and load from selection file. So one of the first things that you'll receive from our tuners is a preference file. Obviously save that in whatever location you want. We're going to choose this one here, and if we open that up, that then gives us a long list of things that we're going to be logging. Really important when you do this, we want to select the group UDS requests, and we want to change no split to 7, and then we also want to click turbo, which will make the logs a lot more accurate for us and the data a lot better for the tuners. So now we've got all the options selected, you are now ready to log. You want to be doing a long pull from third gear all the way, well, from 1500 RPM all the way up to the top end of fourth? If safe to do so.
If safe to do so, yes. And also leave the log running for the whole duration of the drive, just so we can have an idea of what the car is doing in all scenarios. Stop, start traffic, cruising on the motorway, city driving, what have you. Because sometimes we can catch some issues that you won't really see if you're just doing full throttle pulls. So it is something that we have to get a balance of what we want to find.
Sweet. So let's go out, we'll get some logs. So before you set off on your little logging journey, we want to select log.
And then click start.
And then start. So it's probably worth mentioning, obviously right now we are in a VAG vehicle, but if you've got a BMW, rather than having the laptop, we generally use an app called BimmerLink. You'll get a cable similar to this. Or I'm not sure if you can get wireless ones as well.
Yeah, you can get wireless ones, yeah.
So you can get a wireless one, and basically we're going to be logging the same things on BimmerLink, but it is just via an app on your phone rather than the laptop.
We'll give you a list of things to log for BMWs, as BimmerLink does not allow us to send like a preference file with everything loaded.
Yep. So as you can see as you're driving along, the values of each thing in this list are changing very accurately, and that is the data that we need to be able to do a custom tune on your vehicle. So like Jen, not Ryan, said earlier in the video, we are going to need this straight away. So as soon as you get the tool and everything, we need a log straight away, standard file, just to make sure the vehicle is safe to actually tune. And then after each file, we're going to need a new log just to make sure the changes that we've made in the tune are also safe. So
making an effect. So before you do a pull, make sure that the coolant temperature is warm, because I have seen before that people do pulls like when the car is almost flat cold. Please don't do that. Save your engine. Have some mechanical sympathy. Once it hits to around 75 degrees C, you can do a pull just fine. Right now we are sitting at 68, so we still got a little bit to go.
So coolant temperature is getting up there now, 73 degrees, almost ready to do a nice pull. So here we are, nice long stretch of open road.
So at this point in an automatic, we flick it into manual mode and we drop down our gears to third, 1500 RPM, full throttle, all the way. All the way up.
So all the way to the speed limit.
To the speed limit.
Yes. If possible, if on a private road
On a private.
or an airstrip,
Yes.
if you have access to a private airstrip,
Yes.
we would prefer a log all the way to the top end of fourth gear.
To the top of the fourth gear.
But obviously when you're on a public road, we can only go to 60. So usually we'd expect at least 2 full pulls just so we've got plenty of data. But for the sake of the video, we don't want to drag it on too long. So we're going to stop the log there. So stop, done close. Now at this point, your natural reaction is to click save, but you don't have to click save. VAGCOM will already pre-save that full log. So usually it is in the local disk, the Rostec folder, VCDS, and in the logs, we have got a full CSV file here. If you click save, that will just give us a text file, and that is just a little snippet of the engine, which is not very useful at all. So from there, this is the software that we use, but we'd be able to open up the preference file with all the logs that you've been logging. So we'll not do them all, but 3 for example, we've got the charge pressure and engine RPM, and we can look through. This is the pull.
Yeah, the pull that we just did.
Yeah.
And then we just ended it there.
Yeah, so that's it. That's everything
Boost
that we
looks
need
good
to know.
For now, boost looks good. Everything else should be fine. We've logged this car plenty of times. We know it's safe. But that is a good idea of what we are actually looking for on the log.
So a little bit of behind the scenes there.
Yeah.
So we've been out, we've done his log, we've got a save log. Now we can upload that to the tuners. So we're on our tuning portal. This, if you go right back to the beginning of the video, Once you've purchased the tune on the website, you'll receive an automatic email that will take you onto this. Use your BigCommerce log details to get onto here, and this is where you can converse with the tuners and, more importantly, choose files, and we can upload our logs that we've just took. So upload your logs. If you've got any questions, obviously you can type that in there, post to the tuners. They will get back to you as soon as possible, so please be patient with them. And that's about it. So now we've done the logs, back to Ryan for the flashing.
So from here, I'd see on my notifications that we would get the virtual reading service for engine and the gearbox. I can from here now download both files for the engine and the gearbox.
So then what Tom's going to do, he'll set this up a folder, upload all the files that you've sent across, do the tune in Winulls, custom tune to suit your vehicle. It's not coming just from a database and getting downloaded. So there we go. In Winulls, this is a transport or whatever it is.
Just other stuff that I'm working
all
on
other
behind.
stuff. So the tune will then, you'll get a notification, it'll come through, and then upload, and away you go.
Modified file available. There we go.
Yep.
You now have the notification to go and flash the car. This is for the engine though. I still need to upload the one for the gearbox as well, which, same process. Off it goes. Boom. There it is on the phone again. And then from here, back to customer Ryan.
Yep.
Not Ryan.
No.
I said customer Ryan.
Jen.
Not Ryan.
Jen. Go on to engine or gearbox, whichever you want to do first. Probably just do the engine first.
And then writing.
So then we click writing. So if you've already had a tune on here, it could cause problems, but we should already know the majority of this beforehand, so just let us know. There we go. So that's the file. So make sure you got your battery. This is the definite time where you need your battery charger on, or jump pack. So turn the ignition on. In red now because it's programming. Turn the ignition off. Ignition on. There we go, identification okay. Proceed with writing. So now make sure you don't pull this cable out or anything like that, 'cause once you press OK on this, your car will turn into a brick if it goes wrong. Turn ignition off. This is all normal during the writing process. So at the minute, the engine control module is not an engine control module until it's finished. So that's all normal. You should only worry about that happening when this says it's done and it's still doing that. That's when you need to worry. So just because everything communicates on CAN bus, so as soon as the ECU is not there, it's not happy. There we go. So 10 minutes in we get a status bar. So once everything's finished, flash your gearbox, and then you need to go out for a drive, log as you did when it was standard, because obviously when it was standard we were making sure everything were okay before we tuned it. Now we're making sure every little change that we've made on your software, because there could be thousands of maps that we've changed, not just one or two. It might be a car that we've not tuned before, it might be a car that we've not seen before. If you're in a different country, we don't get everyone over here. So then you're verifying what we've done is right. If it feels weird, if you've got fault codes, if it's going into limp mode, we need to know immediately. So put that on the tuning network, and if you've got any concerns about the vehicle, stop driving. The only time you should carry on driving the vehicle and driving the vehicle hard is when the tuners have said they're happy with what they see, and away you go. So there's a million different things that could go wrong. Generally it goes okay. We've not had many issues with the remote tune up to now, but now we're going to this tool, it's going to be a lot quicker and more efficient, so we are going to probably do more of these. So there will be the edge cases, so if you're really unsure that it's going to work, if we're concerned, we'll tell you to do the tuning during our working hours, and then make sure there's someone there to help you out if there's any problems. But ultimately, if you have a problem with the tune, you just flash it back to the standard tune again and carry on driving. In theory, what we can do if you've got hardware modifications is send a tune that's standard, just with the modifications sort of calibrated, so that should get you going. But again, if you have any concerns or we have any concerns, we'll make sure you do that during our working hours, and we can hopefully resolve the issue quickly and easily. So anyway, this video's gone on far too long. I'm sure we'll do subsequent videos. Now we've got the tool working as we want to do it, maybe do a little bit more on the logging and that sort of things, but I'll leave that down to Danny and Tom, because they're going to be the ones doing this moving forward. So thank you very much.